The U.S. Armada is moving into position, but the strike may not come from the Persian Gulf. It may come from far away, from America's strongest Middle East ally, Israel. Washington's war machine is gathering speed in the skies. At least 9 U.S. refueling tankers reportedly arrived at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport on Friday night as part of the massive buildup of American forces in the Middle East. There are now at least 14 U.S. refuelers, a critical piece of any long-range strike, deployed at Ben Gurion Airport. Earlier, 5 American KC-46 refueling planes reached Israel from Portsmouth International Airport in New Hampshire, and a 6th tanker reached the Jewish state from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina. Air refueling tankers play a critical role in the event of war. They are the backbone of airborne fighter jets. The tankers are likely to provide support for U.S. fighter jets aboard the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, which arrived off Israel's northern coast on Friday. Just days ago, the U.S. deployed 11 of its most advanced and formidable fighter jets, the F-22 Raptors, in Israel in a historic move. The F-22 Raptor remains the U.S. Air Force's most advanced air superiority fighter. It combines very low observable stealth, supercruise above Mach 1.5 without afterburner, integrated avionics, and sensor fusion. In combat configuration, it carries IAM-120 AMRAAM and IAM-9 Sidewinder missiles internally, preserving its stealth profile. Built to penetrate heavily defended airspace, the F-22 is intended to suppress enemy aircraft and surface-to-air missile systems, establishing air dominance for follow-on operations. Its engines generate more thrust than any current U.S. fighter engine, allowing rapid response over long distances. These deployments are raising a chilling possibility. Israel could become the launchpad for America's first strike on Iran. The strategy is simple: minimum damage, maximum attack. Not from the Persian Gulf, not from aircraft carriers, but from Israeli soil. If the order comes, bombers could be airborne within minutes, targets inside Iran within hours. The buildup is accelerating. The signals are unmistakable. The Middle East is bracing.
Tensions in West Asia are rising sharply once again. Following a third round of talks that ended with no breakthrough, Iran has issued a chilling new warning to the United States, cautioning that any unwise action could ignite what it described as a widespread fire across the region. The statement comes amid escalating rhetoric, increased military deployments, and growing uncertainty over whether diplomacy is giving way to confrontation. The latest round of indirect talks between Tehran and Washington concluded without a deal, further deepening mistrust between the two sides. While officials have not disclosed full details of the negotiations, both camps appear far apart on key issues, particularly sanctions relief, nuclear activity, and regional security guarantees. Soon after the talks stalled, U.S. President Donald Trump warned that failure to reach an agreement could bring consequences far worse than previous military strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. That statement triggered a swift and forceful reaction from Tehran. Brigadier General Abul Fazal Shakarchi, spokesperson for Iran's armed forces, dismissed the U.S. president's remarks as baseless, boastful, and delusional. But beyond the rhetoric, his message carried a clear warning. He cautioned that any aggressive move by Washington would ignite a widespread fire across West Asia, a phrase widely interpreted as a threat of regional escalation involving multiple fronts. Shakarchi emphasized that Iranian forces are on full alert and closely monitoring U.S. and allied military movements, including those of Israel. He warned that any provocation would trigger what he called a decisive response, one that American forces have never experienced before. Perhaps most striking was his claim that, in the event of conflict, U.S. troops, equipment, and regional interests would be within Iran's firing range. These warnings come as Washington increases its military footprint in the region. The United States has reportedly deployed an additional aircraft carrier strike group, thousands of troops, advanced warplanes, and guided missile destroyers. Officials describe the move as a defensive posture aimed at deterrence. But from Tehran's perspective, the presence of what Trump described as a beautiful armada of warships represents intimidation and psychological warfare. Iranian officials argue that such deployments heighten tensions rather than prevent conflict. The phrase widespread fire is particularly significant. West Asia is already a fragile geopolitical landscape with ongoing conflicts, proxy dynamics, and powerful regional actors. Any direct clash between Iran and the United States could rapidly spill beyond bilateral confrontation. Strategic waterways, energy infrastructure, U.S. bases, and allied positions across the region could become flashpoints. Analysts warn that miscalculation, even more than deliberate action, poses the greatest risk. Iran has repeatedly stated it does not seek war, but insists it will respond forcefully to any aggression. This dual messaging, defensive in tone but severe in warning, reflects a strategy aimed at deterrence through escalation threats. So is this political posturing or preparation for real conflict? For Washington, increased deployments signal strength and leverage in negotiations. For Tehran, public warnings project resolve and domestic unity. Both sides appear locked in a high-stakes game of brinksmanship, each hoping the other blinks first. Yet history shows that periods of intense rhetoric combined with military mobilization can create dangerous moments where a single incident spirals beyond control. As diplomacy stalls and threats intensify, the region watches anxiously. Iran's latest warning underscores just how volatile the situation has become after 3 rounds of talks failed to deliver progress. Whether this confrontation leads back to negotiations or towards something far more dangerous may depend on what happens next. For now, the message from Tehran is unmistakable. It says any attack will not go unanswered, and the consequences could extend far beyond one battlefield. The question is whether deterrence will hold, or whether West Asia stands on the brink of a much wider conflict.